Well, guys, there's no easy way to say this, but McQueen is fading. McQueen is most definitely fading. What do I mean by that analogy? Anime Adventures is starting to see a fall off. That's as blunt as I can put it. Because this new update, although I personally thought it was a very solid update, a lot of people seem to just be done with the game. And it's very, very evident in the game's player count. So why is that? What happened? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Update 20 for Anime Adventures dropped, I want to say a little under 2 days ago. I think it was about a day and a half ago at the time that I'm recording this video. And with that update came a plethora of new units. We got Megumi, Hikari, we got, what's it called? Giselle. I keep forgetting her, not her, his. Keep forgetting his name. We got Sung Jin Woo. We got a new battle pass unit. We got a lot of new content. On top of that, we got Dungeons, which was a game mode that I thought was personally really, really cool. Some people didn't enjoy it so much because of how long it takes to complete the game mode itself. And I'm looking at the player counts for Anime Adventures, Anime Vanguards, other tower defense games. I'll put a picture up on the screen right now. I want us to take a second to just analyze this photo right here. Anime Adventures updated about a day ago, right? The update is still fresh, right? This is the hot new thing. Yet it's barely beating Anime Vanguards and Anime Last Stand in terms of player count when, you know, they should be having a good chunk of more players for at least a couple days, right? Like, a week is a good measurement of how good an update was. If an update was good, you'll usually see a very stark increase in player count for about a week, and then it'll start tapering off as people get all the units that they wanted, they completed everything in the update, and now the only people left playing are the real hardcore players or the people that want to prepare for the next update, yada yada. Anime Adventures is tapering off at a rapid rate, more rapid than I thought it would be for how recently they made an update. Now, let me make this very clear. 50,000 players is still no number to scoff at. Those are very, very good numbers, right? 50k CCU on any Roblox game, if you're a developer, that is very, very good money, especially if your game is as heavily monetized as Anime Adventures is. But I digress. It's extremely evident that the initial wave of hype is completely dying down, if not gone. And a lot of the people that are still playing this game, at least from my experience, are just the OG players, right? The people that already invested too much time and money into this game to give up on it. The people who have all those uniques, the people who spent a lot of money on the game. That's the main demographic that I see that's still sticking with the game no matter what. But now that time has passed, I can confidently say that the new player experience and the amount of new players or new gens, if that's what you want to call them as a whole, that are sticking with AA, not that much. Not that many. Whether that's because the new player experience isn't welcoming, people just like different tower defense games more, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I really can't put my finger on it, but I'm definitely noticing that newer players are choosing to gravitate towards other games, namely Anime Last Stand, Anime Vanguards, fuck it. SpongeBob Tower Defense is at like 30k CCU right now. I don't know how they're doing it. I really don't. That game is monetization personified. Like, if you want game passes up the ass, go play SpongeBob Tower Defense, but I'm getting off topic. You guys get what I mean, right? Anime Adventures, when they drop an update, you know, these guys are supposed to be the tower defense game, the premier tower defense game, the grandfather to all the predecessors that came before it, excluding ASTD. And it's seeming like it's just not there anymore. The hype is not there. The insane amount of love for the game is just not there anymore. So now we have to ask ourselves, what happened? The more that I look at Anime Adventures and try to analyze the behavior between its community and the game, I come to the conclusion that a lot of the sentiments surrounding the game miss what once was. And whether you actually miss the game itself or you just miss how the game made you feel at the time, people just don't really seem to reciprocate the same amount of love that they did when the game was out initially. And I'll be the first to tell you, the way that y'all made this game look was nowhere near as good as it actually was. If Update 20 came out back then when Anime Adventures was at its prime. People would not have batted an eye. You guys would have eaten it up completely with a smile on your face, and you would have had no complaints. But now that you guys have some other games to compare it to, namely something that is in ASTD, other good high-quality tower defense games to really compare Anime Adventures to, you're starting to realize that maybe it's not as good as you thought it was. Maybe you don't like the game as much as you thought you did. I'll tell you one, I'll admit it right now, I am one of those people. I am one of the many individuals that hopped on the AA bandwagon and just assumed that this game would be the greatest thing to touch Roblox since Cartwright into Skibidi Toilet. I did not think it was possible. I could not fathom a reality where Anime Adventures would not stand at the top of all anime tower defense games as a unanimous decision for just being the absolute greatest game. And the reason I thought of it that way was just because I played it before before it got taken down. I enjoyed it, and it just simply been so long since I actually played the game, I really had no real scale of judgment as to how good the actual game would be. And now that I'm playing it again, I still think it's a good game. I still think it's incredibly well made, high quality. If you want an anime tower defense game, this is an amazing anime tower defense game, but it's just not my favorite anymore. If I'm being 100% honest, games like AV and ALS have improved on the formula that Anime Adventures made, and you can tell in how many players they have. People are actively choosing to play these games instead of AA, and it's for good reason. In the case of Anime Vanguards, they've improved on things like enemy variety, obtainment processes, unit evolutions. A lot of these things can definitely be seen in Anime Adventures, but in my opinion, I'm just gonna say that AV does it better. In the case of Anime Last Stand, they have managed to make their game something that Anime Adventures will never do, and that's being free to play. Anime Last Stand, for how much I absolutely shit on the game, I literally have 2 videos on this channel either complaining or making fun of the game, just outright making it very clear I do not like this game. Now that I've really seen how they've improved as time has went on, and I reflect on my opinions. I don't take anything back that I said in those 2 videos, by the way. This game is still not my favorite by far. You gotta give Anime Last Stand credit where credit is due. These guys suffered from extreme power creep, right? Every single unit in the game needs at least Overlord Plus to be remotely useful, and if you don't have that, there's literally no point in using the unit because the enemies have so much health, because this game is so extremely power crept that if they don't give the enemies insane amounts of HP, everything is going to be a complete snooze fest and it's going to be too easy. Anime Last Stand is the only game that I've ever witnessed to succeed from having dogshit balancing, because what did they do in response? They made rerolls extremely easy to get for anyone, no matter how much money you spent, therefore circumventing the problem with power creep, because, a wise saying goes, if everything's unbalanced, then nothing's unbalanced. If every unit is extremely easy to get a super overpowered damage trait on, then why are you worried that the enemies are extremely overtuned? It doesn't matter, because you're going to be able to progress as a free-to-play player, and you're going to be able to get those insanely strong units. You're going to be able to get glitched easily, because they give you rerolls up the wazoo. Now, obviously that comes with its own problems, but people like Anime Last Stand, at least in my opinion, right, from what I've observed, people like the game because it fulfills the power fantasy, right? It lets you use your super cool units that look like they're from the anime, something that the remodels and Anime Adventures have been starting to stray a little bit further away from. Anime Last Stand lets you use your cool characters from your favorite animes. Not only does it let you do that, it lets you see the insanely high damage numbers, those hundreds of millions, where you see them absolutely decimating enemies with a single attack. People love that. They eat it up. And that's exactly where Anime Last Stand really makes its place in the community for anime tower defense games. It's really the only game to do this successfully. They have horribly power crept their units to the point of no return, but instead of it being a detriment to the game, I would say it's one of their strengths. It is one of their major strengths. And through the process, they've managed to rake in a loyal community of players and made the game very free to play, making things a lot better for the average player that doesn't want to spend a lot of money, and simultaneously garnering a loyal fan base. So You know, Anime Last Stand, I gotta give y'all props. This segment lasted for 3 minutes, way longer than I wanted it to, but I really just wanted to get that out there. To me, Anime Last Stand is the perfect embodiment of quantity over quality. But it's still good. I dare I say it, it is still good. For what it's worth, if you want an anime tower defense game that's free to play, it's addicting, has things to grind, shit, dude, I can't tell you not to play ALS. They've improved as time has went on, and yeah, props to them, dude. Props to them. And how does that relate back to Anime Adventures? Well, Anime Last Stand is free to play, is successful. Anime Adventures, not free to play at all. And they're still successful, but, you know, ALS is definitely taking a good chunk of their players. A very good chunk. Anyways, let's move on. I want to bring this video to a close. There's one more thing that I want to say. A lot of the people in my comment section for my prior video saying that, where I said that update 20 was amazing, a lot of people were saying that, you know, I was really just overglazing the game. It wasn't even all that. The update was mid, yada yada. Here's the thing, right? People will complain if you don't add the quality of life features that we wanted, i.e. Unit Manager. People will complain if that gets added. They'll complain if it doesn't get added. So really, there's no pleasing you people. I'm not going to say that I didn't enjoy the update. I still think it was a good update. A hell of a lot better than update 19.5. I'm going to stand by that. Now, do I think the update was good at retaining players? Now, that's a whole another can of worms. You know, I'm looking at the numbers. I'm looking at the stats. You might have got me on that front. Do I still think the update is good? Absolutely. Do I think the update is just not what players want anymore? Also true, because numbers don't lie. At this point, I really don't know what Anime Adventures could do in order to, you know, go back to their prime. Dare I say it, it's just not possible. Something else I'd like to point out is the unit remodels, right? We're not going to beat around the bush here. I'm going to be as blunt as I can possibly be for this talking point. The unit remodels are a good reason, at least a good chunk of the reasons why this game is seeming to die. I say the word die very, very loosely here. It's not dying. It's still very high in player count. But let's be 100% honest. In an ideal world, Anime Adventures would not have all of these remodels. Some of them look really, really good. I'll give them credit, right? I'll definitely give them their flowers. I like the Boo reskin. I like the Gojo. Actually, I don't like the Gojo reskin. I like the, what's his name? The Poochie reskin. Well, I guess it's not a reskin, more of a remodel. What I'm trying to say is, some of the remodels that they did, I really, really like them because they managed to make the characters recognizable while changing them slightly in order to avoid copyright. I think that's absolutely perfect. Dare I say it, some of them look better than they did originally. I really, really like some of the designs. But, when you start changing the way your models look, and you start fundamentally altering their appearances in a way that makes them differ drastically than their original anime counterparts, guess what? You run into what I like to call the anime defenders scenario, where you reach a point that your game has units that are nigh unrecognizable to their original animes, and people start to ask themselves, I play anime tower defense games because I want to use anime units. These do not look like anime characters. Why am I still playing this game? That exact same line of thinking is what led my beloved anime defenders to go all the way into the depths of Roblox game death. You know, I'll always have a soft spot for anime defenders. It's the game that I started making videos on, but that's not the point of this video. What I'm trying to say is the remodels in Anime Adventures are something that I'm seeing a lot of people have an issue with. And history repeats itself. What was one of the main things that killed anime defenders? The remodels. The fact that they were forced to make their units look different because they wanted to avoid copyright. The exact same thing that Anime Adventures is doing. And it's even worse in AA's case because they've already been hit once, right? The old copyright hammer has already struck them once, meaning once it happens the second time, they won't really receive the same amount of leniency as they did the first time. I can imagine it was a pretty big legal headache re-releasing the game and making sure that they didn't get sued again. So the fact that they have to do this really doesn't do anything for them, right? It doesn't do anything in their favor. And it's not like players are going to be sympathetic, right? They're not going to be like, oh, My beloved anime adventures, I don't want you to get taken down again. Yes, I will play with this Gon unit that looks like Johnny Bravo. No, I don't care about the remodels. I'll keep playing this game till my heart's content. That's never going to happen. Never will happen. You know what does happen, though? People look at the remodels. They get a little bit miffed. They don't like the game anymore. They get turned off by the fact that their favorite units don't look like their favorite units anymore. And that's as simply as I can put it. Anime Adventures seems to be going downhill. And do I think it's going to stop? I don't know. I really don't know. I know a lot of hardcore Anime Adventures fans are watching this, and I'm sorry to hit you with the cold water, but if at the rate that things are going, I know a lot of people are going to say the remodels don't even matter, but let's be honest, they kind of do. They kind of do. That's going to be bringing us into the end of today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, liked it, thank you for making it till the end. I really, really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about Anime Adventures. Are you going to keep playing it? Are you falling out of love with the game? I would love to hear what you have to say. And I've low-key been slacking on the daily uploads, I'm not going to lie. I have been addicted to RuneSlayer. This background footage that you see is just one of the many, many hours that I put into this game. I really want to make a video on it. I want to make something special for RuneSlayer. Great, great game. I'm having a lot of fun on it. But with all that being said, that's going to be it for me. Have a great day or night wherever you are. Stay tuned for more content, and we will catch you in the next one.